Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope you're having a brilliant day. Now today guys, this is a special video request from Carl, who has a fantastic channel here on YouTube called The Desert Plant Diary. And if you're not familiar with Carl, then you must go and check out his really wonderful YouTube channel. Links up above, The Desert Plant Diary. Do go over and subscribe. And thank you, Carl, for this video request. And also, before I go any further, I want to give a very special thank you to my wonderful fiancé Hans, who is behind the camera filming me today. And if you're also not familiar with Hans, do check out his wonderful YouTube channel as well. Family of Cacti and Other Beauties, links up above. So do go over and subscribe to both guys. So here we go guys, and well, this is purely a complete what all Euphorbias that me and Hans have got in our succulent plant collection. And luckily we have the majority, well, all of our except one Euphorbias in our kitchen, in the windows and also by the windows. We just have one, which is Euphorbia in the polytunnel, because that's a colder hardy one, and that's the one I'm just going to finish off in the polytunnel with. But I'm going to show you everything that we've got here. First of all, I'm going to start from this side all the way up. Now, first of all, this is our Euphorbia ingens, and this is an absolutely fantastic euphorbia, very cactus-like, and it is often sold as a cactus when it is actually not a cactus. It is purely a succulent because it doesn't have areoles like a cactus does, but it is very cactus-like. And I have to say, me and Hans are big fans of the tree-like euphorbias. Absolutely wonderful. And we have this particular large euphorbia here growing under a grow light, one of the 50 watts, just to overwinter. And the reason why we have this one under a grow light isn't to grow it because it's overwintering at the moment. It's mainly just to offer a bit of light where there's no window here because there's lacking a window. So grow light's a bit like mobile windows. It's going to help this plant to keep its photosynthesis up over the winter there. So it's doing very well in this corner. Very big plant. This is one we got from a garden centre in Dublin called Urban Plant Life, and it's actually a cutting that they took from their very large Euphorbia ingens that they actually have at Urban Plant Life purely as display. And the cutting has branched out loads of lovely arms over the couple of years that I've had this plant. Absolutely fantastic. And then here I have a Euphorbia tyracale, and this euphorbia is commonly known as the pencil cactus, wrongly called cactus again. It's not a cactus at all, but it's nicknamed that, purely a succulent, as I say. And also it's commonly known as the sticks on fire because this plant in bright sunshine takes on a lovely sort of orangey red coloration on the stems. As you can see now, it's totally all green because it's away from the window, just getting light from the grow light, and it gets a bit of light coming up from the side. These two large plants, these two euphorbias we have out in our yard during the summer to get lots of sunshine, and they do very well, but they overwinter very well here. So again, very beautiful, very large Euphorbia tyracale here, and beautiful plant, as you can see. And then we have here a Pachypodium, which is part of the Euphorbia type of family. And this is one that we had to cut back. Hans did a great job. He cut the top of it because it went black. I think it had spider mite a few years ago, and it stopped growing, so we cut it, and it sprouted out loads of new growth from the top and loads of beautiful leaves on it. Very beautiful Pachypodium. Absolutely gorgeous. Now here we have an extremely gorgeous large Euphorbia triangularis, and this here with all the lovely woodiness on it is actually age. And this particular Euphorbia here is also one I got from Urban Plant Life, the garden nursery in Dublin. They had actually had it for many years, and this Euphorbia had actually been in movies. The people hire out certain plants from this garden centre to have in films as backdrops, and this has been in a few movies. I'm not quite sure which one, so it's quite little, very special, this one here. Little history to this, very large, as you can see. Gorgeous Euphorbia, loads of arms coming off it, very desert-like. Absolutely lovely. This is probably one of my favourites in the collection, and put on a lot of lovely growth over the summer. Again, this is one we have out in the yard during the summer. We kept it in the polytunnel this year because we had a lot of windy weather, but it did do very well. Again, we over this in the window here, in the south-facing window, so it gets plenty of sunshine. And I'm going to show you these ones that we've just got here first before going in the window. And Hans is doing an amazing job because he's got long arms. He can reach all the parts I can't reach without knocking everything over. Now, this is an amazing euphorbia here. And I think we managed to get it labelled because I've had this for years. When I was 23, so it's over 25 years old. And this one is a Euphorbia polycantha, Euphorbia polycantha. It took me absolutely years to ID it because it wasn't labelled, and somebody managed to ID it for us. This is beautiful, I have to say, and Hans did a great job of this last year because it's an old euphorbia and it was having a lot of dieback with the stems, and he pruned it back, as you can see where it's been pruned there, and he put on a load of new growth. It's the healthiest I've ever seen it, and we overwintering that again indoors because it's not a cold hardy one. It suffered a bit before. The first year we kept it in the polytunnel, it had a lot of damage. Euphorbias really do need to be kept above 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. There are certain few, including even the triangulators, that can take colder temperatures, but I'm not taking no risks. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous, guys? Again, this is one that's often wrongly called a cactus when it's not. You can understand how it can get confusing. As I say, succulents like euphorbias here have just like thorns, not spines, thorns that come out. Cacti have spines, and even when they don't have spines, they will have little areoles. That's the little tiny little cushion-like tiny little pads that cacti have where spines and flowers emerge from. And that's the difference. But it can be very confusing if you're not familiar. And then here, I have another old euphorbia here I've had for many, many years. This is a Euphorbia sudanica. And as I say, it is quite a weird plant. Again, lovely leafy variety here. And this actually, when I got this euphorbia, it was actually being grafted, on top of it had been grafted a coral euphorbia, one of the pink type of fan-like euphorbias that was grafted onto the top. This was used as a rootstock. And like a lot of grafted plants that are sold purely just for quick selling, the coal part died back, and then I kept the stock part, and this grew into this beautiful plant here. Absolutely gorgeous, lovely, lovely, beautiful, beautiful plant. Absolutely fantastic. And then here we have not been able to ID this one, but this is another one I've had for many years when I was in my 20s. This is over 25 years old as well. Lovely, lovely candelabra type effect to this euphorbia. Gorgeous. Absolute stunner. And then here we have a very, very large Euphorbia Milis variety, and this is the one that is the larger growing Euphorbia Milis. There's lots and lots of different types of these particular Milis. This is one that's very big leaved, a beautiful big wide stemmed and tall growing. It grows into quite a large tree, and we first saw this when we was at a fantastic cactus and succulent nursery in Berlin, and they have a big tree of this same plant, and they've had a lot of cuttings, and we bought a young cutting, and it has grown remarkable for us, and it flowered as well, beautiful flowers, as all euphorbias do, but the flowers vary so much, as this is a very large growing one. And then here we have three of our Medusa euphorbias. And the Medusa euphorbia, there's quite a few different varieties, but they're nicknamed Medusa for the obvious reasons because of how they look. Three different types here. This one, I'm not sure of the idea of this one, but this euphorbia grows in like little balls with little leaves coming on, multiple headed balls as well. Again, this is about 25 years old. Beautiful, beautiful specimen that I have here in a round bowl. Absolutely gorgeous. And then this one here is another one of the Medusa. This is Euphorbia enormis, and it's a recent new one that we got from our late friend Bill, who was the Honorary Secretary at the Cactus Society here in Belfast, and sadly he passed over and his plants were given away to the members who wanted to look after them, and this is one that we took to look after. It's absolutely beautiful here. And this one here is one of my other Medusa Medusa ones as well. Not quite sure, I have got the name of this, but the label's come off and I can't remember off the top of my head. This is one that sort of grows up and it has lovely little gorgeous little yellow flowers in the summertime. Beautiful. Oh, Hans doing a great job there showing you. Look at that, a big lovely lovely plant, I have to say. Beautiful there. And then I'm going to just move aside, let Hansi get into the window here. Now we're in the window now, and that's one of our Euphorbia Milis, and this one was given to us as a cut-in. And this is quite an unusual Euphorbia Mili. It has the red flowers, but very tiny little red flowers on this one. So it was flowering in the spring and summer, and a beautiful Euphorbia there. And then at the right we have a Euphorbia trigonus. Is it? Yeah, trigonus. And we have two different varieties of this. This one here is the all green variety that has lovely little leaves coming off it, and the green body on it. Beautiful Euphorbia. Very common in cultivation to buy as well, and quite a popular one. But it is extremely intolerant to cold, so bear that in mind. Out of all the Euphorbias, this one will turn to mush if it gets cold, so we keep this in our window, but our kitchen is kept warm, so no chance of any cold air getting in onto this. And the one next to it on the right there is the trigonus, Euphorbia trigonus, and this is the Trigonus rubra that has the lovely red coloration to it and the lovely red leaves. As you can see, all the leaves are red on this one, so it's the same type but the red rubra version. And here then we have a little Euphorbia here. Just check on the name of that one now. Not quite sure of that one. We've never been able to ID it, so if you happen to know and you're familiar with the ID on these, do let us know. That's this one here, but it's quite an unusual one. Love it. Again, a lovely candelabra effect. Beautiful Euphorbia there. Definitely original. And the one amazing thing about Euphorbia succulents is they're so, as you can see, they're so varied in their appearance. And you know, there are just so many. Euphorbia is the largest genus of succulent plants. It is just vast. And here we have a lovely caudiciform Euphorbia. And I'll just check the label on this one here because I can't remember off the top of my head here if it is. Oops, just check the label's come off. Nope, that's it's labelled but there's no name on it, and I cannot remember off the top of my head. But it's one of it's one of the caudiciform ones. Again, gorgeous the way it grows with all these little arms coming out of it. Absolutely beautiful. And then the one above it there is commonly known as the Euphorbia mammillaris variegata, and nicknamed the corn cob Euphorbia because it resembles a corn cob in its appearance. Not that I've ever seen a corn cob look like that, but the way it sort of grows, the little segments on it is quite unusual. And that's the variegated form. Very lovely Euphorbia there. And Hans is doing a great job not getting spiked there with everything. And then here, these I love. This is one of our Euphorbia obesas, and it is this particular Euphorbia obesa is nicknamed the baseball plant. I know, because apparently it's supposed to resemble a baseball with its markings. But I've had that particular Euphorbia obesa now for, again, about 25 years. And I bought it was just a round small ball, and it's grown almost into like a seriously type of Euphorbia over the years. And it's in flower at the moment. See a tiny little green little flowers on the top there. The flowers on Euphorbias are always very small, and in particular on this type of Euphorbia, the obesa, very tiny, but still beautiful to see, and certainly unique anyway. And then we have another similar looking Euphorbia. Now that is a Euphorbia melliformis, and it is similar in appearance to the obesa, except it has thorns that are very grey and long. The obesa doesn't really have any, or very tiny little thorns as such. This one has quite large prominent thorns, and it's also, the body of this plant is much greener, and it also stays more globular. Completely different, but it is similar-ish in the sense that it's sort of cactus-like in a globular way. Very unusual. And then here we have Euphorbia, another type. Again, I'm not quite sure of this one. This was gifted to us as a cutting. That's one of our air plants on top of it, not a Euphorbia. But this one here is a lovely, lovely variety again. Very, very wonderful with its lovely little arms coming out of it. Again, with the tillandsia sitting quite comfortably on the top of it there. And then this one here is Euphorbia platyclada. And this is a really unusual euphorbia, and it's nicknamed the dead plant because it actually does look like it's dead. The colour of it is sort of like a salmony, grey, peachy, pinky colour. Sometimes it goes very pink in bright sunshine, and in the winter it takes on more of a grey appearance, but it does look like a load of dead sticks. I actually love this plant. I think it's amazing, and it has the most tiniest minuscule little flowers you can ever imagine when it does flower. It is amazing. I actually made a video on this plant on how to care for it because I love this euphorbia so much. And if you want to know a bit more about this particular euphorbia, then do check out the video I've made on how to care for Euphorbia platyclada, the dead plant. Links up above. And I go into a bit more detail about this particular euphorbia. It's wacky as hell, guys. And then this one here is a Euphorbia richii. And again, a lovely unusual type of euphorbia, again, lovely and leafy. And that has little clusters of little white flowers on it during the spring and summer. And it was flowering actually up until probably a month or two ago, late in the summer. Beautiful, and it's got loads of new growth coming up on the bottom of it too there. And then this one here, guys. Oh my gosh, we love this one. And I think we've managed to label this as well. Just double check. Euphorbia, let's have a look here. Euphorbia bayoensis, because when we got this it wasn't labelled and we searched everywhere, and I think we managed to ID this one. And this is gorgeous. This is very cactus-like, so it's totally forgivable if people think this is a cactus because the spines are very thorn-like. So the thorns are very spine-like, and but it is completely a euphorbia because it hasn't got the areoles, as I mentioned earlier. Beautiful, all the new growth, the new thorns that appear on euphorbia, on this particular euphorbia, are lovely and red, as you can see. And it's a fast-growing one. I mean, euphorbias, although they do sort of have a winter rest, they will grow late into the fall, and they don't really come into a true rest until sometimes the middle of winter. And because these are in our kitchen and it's warm, we will keep them lightly watered about once a month while they're growing, and then stop watering them until they're probably April-May time. And here is a Euphorbia obesa times globosa, and that's a mix between the Euphorbia globosa and the Euphorbia obesa. Very wacky there. It's got loads of new little balls, growths appearing on the top of it. Again, tiny flowers on some of them as well. Quite an unusual, very unusual euphorbia there. Absolutely amazing. And then here we have, that is a senecio. This is not a euphorbia, guys. That's a senecio that our wonderful friend Daz from Cactus Mania gave us. So I won't include that. We've got it there because it looks lovely there, but that's not a euphorbia. This one here is a euphorbia. Now this is another one of the Euphorbia corncob mammillaris, but it's more of the rounder variety. It has more of a ball round appearance to it. The other one was more columnar, and this particular one was gifted to us by our wonderful friend our wonderful friend Nelly from Collection of Unseen Nature. And thank you, Nelly. This plant is doing extremely well, as you can see. Settling very nice there. We gave it a lovely repot, so thank you, Nelly, for that. And here we have a Euphorbia rowleyana. Again, another lovely leafy one, very unusual. So sure you'll agree, guys, euphorbias are very varied in how they look. And here at the back we have a Euphorbia canaris, a lovely big young seedling. Canariensis, yeah, Euphorbia canariensis. And we have got, saying about euphorbias, we have got quite a few Euphorbia canariensis seedlings upstairs in our grow room, but we won't include them in this video because they're smaller versions of this, but that's the Euphorbia canariensis. And then here, this is Euphorbia aeruginosa, and this one was gifted to us by Daz from Cacti Mania, and happy days, absolutely beautiful. It's taken very well in the pot when we potted it up there, absolutely beautiful plant. And then here we have some more, 3 more Euphorbia obesus. And again, these are about 25 years old. I got these the same time I got the other one I showed you earlier. I potted all 3 of them into a bowl together, and they're doing very well there. And as I say, they were round little balls when I bought them 25 years ago, and they've now gone columnar. So there's a lot of age to these. Very unusual type of Euphorbias there. And then this is a little Euphorbia we've got going on there that we've been treating as a cutting. Again from Nelly, from Collection of Unseen Nature. So that's rooted very well, so thank you Nelly there. And gorgeous, isn't it? Here we have a Euphorbia Milis. Now this is from Olga. I keep saying Olga and then Nelly. This was from Olga, from Olga's Greenland, and this was from one of her actual plants, her big mother plant that also never stops flowering. And I can honestly say, Olga, this plant here never stops flowering. It is remarkable, amazing Euphorbia. It's very happy.
It comes in flower.
Yeah, it even came as a cutting in flower, and it's not stopped flowering since. And we've had this plant now for a couple of years, has to be. Very, very lovely. And then here we have a Euphorbia Milis white flowering one. And this was gifted to us from our friend as a cutting this year. And it's rooted very well. And as you can see, it is flowering with lovely white flowers and a load more buds appearing at the top as well. So amazing to see these wonderful buds and beautiful white blooms. And then here is a Euphorbia, not quite sure, I think this is a Euphorbia ferox. And this is a very, very, very old Euphorbia that I have had for, again, probably also 25 years. And I've took the branches off it many, many times and propagated it from cuttings. It is a fantastic Euphorbia. Absolutely amazing. Very nice and thorny, that one. And then we have another one. This is one of the branches from that I propagated there. New growth coming up as well. Very good. And then we have, this is another Euphorbia, the name, but I just remembered all the names. It's that name anyway, aeruginosa. And this particular one was we actually got this from, again, our late friend Bill, who used to be the Honorary Secretary here at the Cactus site in Belfast. Sadly, he passed over and his plants were gifted to all the other members, and this is one of his, so I'm sure this is a lot of age to this beautiful, beautiful Euphorbia here. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous variety. And guys, you wait till you see this Euphorbia. Ta-da! It is beautiful, and it is flowering at the moment with lots and lots of almost plastic looking, waxy, little green blooms. And this Euphorbia is good, Euphorbia mayoranthani. And this is one that we got last year, again from Urban Plant Life in Dublin. We saw it about 2 weeks before we got it, and at the time we went back, so we won't get it because we bought a few plants, and then it was on our mind, and I said to Hans, we have to go back and get that plant. It is gorgeous. Again, it's one of the Candelabra type of Euphorbias, very cactus-like, and very, very lovely as well. Look at it, it's just amazing with all the arms coming off it. Absolutely gorgeous. And the little flowers. And I have made a video a couple of weeks back when this Euphorbia was flowering, but it's flowering even more since then because the blooms have got even larger and there's more flowers. So it is just, they're coming out in twos as well. Look at that, on the one stem, flower stem, there's 2 little flowers on each one. Absolutely gorgeous.
Start with one.
Yeah, it started with 1 flower on each flower stem and then went into 2 in little groups. Lovely. And then this is the last one in the kitchen. I'm going to finish the video then in the polytunnel with just the Euphorbia harida. Now this is a Euphorbia, I think another type of Euphorbia ingens, and this is very large. I'm just going to show you here because I'm going to be standing next to it here just to show you the height of it. It's almost as tall as me. It's probably nearly 5 feet high, and I've had this Euphorbia now possibly for about 15 years. I can't, well, I actually got it when I first moved over to Ireland. So it would be about 14 years, I think. But there's a lot of, it's an old enough plant, as you can see. And we overwinter this one in our kitchen, obviously, because it's not cold hardy, as the majority of Euphorbias are not, except for the Euphorbia horrida, which we have in the polytunnel. So that's all the ones we've got here. That's the majority of the collection. And I'm going to show you the last but not least, well, it will be the least one, in the polytunnel. Now here I am in the polytunnel, and I've just remembered, guys, I said that was all of the Euphorbias. I've just remembered there is another one in the grow room upstairs, a Euphorbia pulchima, commonly known as the poinsettia. So I'm going to show you that after this. I thought it was all done. We have so many. But this one here is a Euphorbia horrida, and it is a lovely, as you can see, a lovely, lovely plant. These are all dead flower heads here that have all died back, and multi-headed specimen. I've had this possibly for about 20 years. Very much aged, this. And the reason why we keep this one out in the polytunnel and not the others is because this is one of the very few that can take a bit cooler temperatures, only in our experience. This one here, we keep it in the polytunnel. Our polytunnel, we have a heater there that will kick on if the temperature inside the polytunnel drops below 5 Celsius, which is around 41 degrees Fahrenheit. And these are the majority of the plants we keep out here because they can take cooler temperatures. Never drops below 5, the heater will kick on, so they're pretty much protected. But this particular Euphorbia, we keep totally dry now until April time. And it seems to overwinter really well in here. The soil is bone dry in it, so there's no chance of rot. But this is a lovely Euphorbia as well, absolutely gorgeous. So that's that one. And now I'm going to show you last and least upstairs the Euphorbia pulchima, the poinsettia, and also going to show you the little seedlings, the Euphorbia canariensis seedlings that we grown from seed too. Now guys, we're in Hansi's grow room, so if there's a bit of a pink tinge to this video, it's because the grow lights are on. And this is the Euphorbia pulchima, and this is commonly known as the poinsettia plant that you often see around for sale around the Christmas time because it has lovely red, they're often called flowers, but they're actually bracts, and they have the lovely red bracts. This one is just starting to come into bloom again, forming its little red bracts at the top, and this is absolutely beautiful. This particular poinsettia, the Euphorbia pulchima, I actually bought 2 years ago for about £1 from Lidl, the supermarket store here, and I thought, oh, that's a cute little poinsettia. And of course people often throw them away after Christmas, but you know, we didn't. We potted it up and kept it, and it's now formed into an absolutely beautiful little tree, absolutely gorgeous. Very leafy, and he absolutely loves it here in Hansi's grow room, I have to say. Very healthy plant, beautiful. And I can't believe I nearly forgot to mention that one in the video. And then this is definitely last. Here we have, I thought I might as well show you here, the Euphorbia canariensis seedlings that we have grown from seed. Aren't they cute, guys? And they're really, really sweet, I have to say. All grown from seed. And it was seed actually from the Canary Islands. It was seed we got from the British Cactus and Succulent Society, from their catalogue that they issue out at the end of every year. So happy to see that. So guys, that is our entire Euphorbia succulent plant collection. And Carl from the Desert Plant Diary, thank you for the video suggestion. I think it's a great idea. And as I say, if you're not familiar with Cole, do go over and subscribe to Cole's channel. And also please do go over and subscribe to my wonderful fiancé Hansi's channel as well. So guys, and if you want to know a little bit more on how to grow cacti and succulents, or you just want to have a look at my website, please do, desertplantsofavalon.com. And I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until the next video, bye.